Welcome to another lesson on vocabulary. Today we're looking at the topic of social life, and we have a lot of phrasal verbs and some other collocations. First of all, let's look at some words for friend. If you don't know mate already, you'll hear a lot of people using it here, so you will hear it. This one's the most common, and it just means friend, yeah, mate. But a lot of people use it even with strangers. They say, all right, mate, which just is a kind of greeting in this area. Pal and chum also mean mate, friend, but they're perhaps not used as often as mate. I think mate is certainly the most common. Here are three more words, but these aren't really friend. These are all just a guy. Yeah, it's another word for a man, a guy. Not really used for women, any of these. They're all for men. You can call someone a geezer, a bloke, or a chap, which is quite an old-fashioned one, actually. And so nowadays it seems to refer to a kind of... I think it gives you an image of... somebody from the 1920s, maybe one of those guys with a monocle and that wearing that kind of fashion, but it can just mean a guy, a geezer, a bloke. So all of these are UK, they're not really US, they're not really American. Okay, for the party itself, we've got lots of different types of parties, but booze is a slang word for alcohol. It's just quite often used again. Hangover is the word that we use for the headache which you get if you drink too much booze. So it's really the morning after that you have a hangover. And this is a noun and a verb. You can be hungover and you can have a hangover. So please, yeah, it's have. If you're going to use any verb, have a hangover. And somebody is a party animal if they go to lots of parties and they enjoy partying. And somebody is a party pooper if they're not keen on having parties. They're not really keen on socialising. They're a party pooper. Okay, you throw a party, you have a party, and you can gate crash a party, which means turn up to the party uninvited. Yeah, arrive uninvited. That's gate crash. But throw or have just mean have a party. Throw really means organise the party, throw a party. And different types of parties. You can throw a surprise party. You can have a stag party if you're getting married. It's the party which the men have before a man gets married. And you could have a hen party if you're a girl. You go out with your friends and, usually there's lots of booze and it's before the wedding. And remember that it's not the same as the reception, which is a party which everyone goes to before, or usually after the actual ceremony, you have a reception, which is the party for your wedding. So it's not the same as hen party, which is the girls' night out before the actual wedding. Fancy dress, you dress up as someone else, maybe, I don't know, it could be anybody, a policeman or Viking, whatever. And a housewarming party when you move into a new house. Okay, some collocations now. You can say that this calls for a celebration. It's usually the expression we use. This calls for a celebration. Maybe the news calls for a celebration. Maybe somebody in your family is pregnant and this calls for a celebration. There's going to be a baby soon. You can also, we use the verb attend, especially for formal functions, because this is quite a formal word. I think for a party, we'd just say go to a party. We wouldn't usually say attend a party, but it's quite formal and it's used also for attendance at school. But you attend a formal function. Formal function might be called a black tie event because you have to wear a black tie. I don't usually go to many of these. But you can also call a party a bash, a get-together, or even a do. It's quite old-fashioned, again, but these two are very informal and quite often used, very common. Okay, you wine and dine clients, perhaps, because you take them out to restaurants and, you show them your local area and you wine and dine them. Dine means to go out for dinner, and wine, well, I think we've all had a glass of red wine before. Okay, you book a venue, you book the perfect venue. Venue is the word used for where you're going to have the party. It's also used for when a band has a gig and plays a gig somewhere, they need to find a good venue. So venue is just a place for a party, any kind of party. If you go to a party and you feel like the host doesn't want you there anymore, maybe they've had enough of you, then you have outstayed your welcome. You have stayed too long and you're no longer welcome. So you have outstayed your welcome. And if you go and visit someone, the verb which collocates well with visit is pay, strangely enough. Like pay attention, but pay someone a flying visit. If it's quick, we can say a flying visit. Okay, so that's this side done. Let's now look at some of the phrasal verbs. Now, a lot of phrasal verbs with pop. I think we use this one, or use a lot of these, very often. They're very common. You can pop out, which means you go out somewhere. You can pop to your friends, go to your friends. You can pop round your brothers. You can pop over the chemists, and you can also pop by, which is very often used with no object, in my opinion. These two are also sometimes used with no object. Now, you can't, I've put drop here because you can drop round, drop over, and drop by, meaning go and see someone, but it's not, it doesn't go well with out or to. I mean, it does, but it's a different meaning. When you drop out of university. You don't drop out to see someone, or, you pop out to the shops, you pop out to see someone. So drop only goes with round, over, and by, not really with the top two in this meaning. Another one, which is similar to these, is call in on someone, and it's when you're on the way to somewhere else, maybe to the shops, maybe to the hospital, and on the way you call in on your friend, you call in on someone in your family, one of your relatives, and it just means visit, pay someone a visit on the way. Okay, and a few more phrasal verbs. You hang out with someone, or you just hang out. So you don't have to use an object here, but you hang out with your friends, usually. You also hang around with your friends, and you can knock around with your friends, and it's the same meaning. You get on with someone when you have a good relationship, you should all know that one, but you fall out with someone when you have an argument with one of your friends. You fall out with them, and it means that you no longer have a good relationship. You can hook up with someone. That can just mean meet. It's got two meanings really, this one. It can just mean meet, or it can mean meet romantically for the first time. Yeah, if you hook up with a girl, then maybe it means you met her at a party and you fall in love, or you fancy each other, or you start a relationship. Anyway, you start going out with each other, and we use go out with for when you're meeting someone regularly, romantically. Okay, get up to. This is a good one to remember, and it just means do. If I say, what did you get up to at the weekend, and it's very common, then it just means, what did you do at the weekend? What were you involved in? So, very often used, especially as a question, what did you get up to? Okay, so perhaps I'll put a question there just to remind you. It's often a question. These are negative phrasal verbs for one reason or another. If you let someone down, it's always negative. You disappoint them. You maybe make them a promise, and then, unfortunately, you don't keep your promise. You let someone down. If you blow someone out, it means you arrange to meet them, and then you call it off. You cancel it. You call it off. Okay? So you blow them out. You arrange to meet them and then cancel maybe at the last minute. That's usually when we use this one, when somebody cancels at the last minute. And if you stand someone up, that means you arrange to meet someone on a date and then you don't turn up. So you stand them up. You don't turn up to your date. You don't show up to your date. So please remember these two meaning arrive as well. Now the opposite of arrive would be leave, and we can use phrasal verbs. We can say dash off, shoot off, head off. And a couple of turn someone down means refuse or reject an offer or an invitation. So maybe somebody invites you to their party and you turn them down because you have other plans. You've already arranged something else. If you turn someone away from your party, maybe somebody gate crashes your party and you decide to turn them away because you don't want this person at the party. But it could be used in a different situation. Maybe you go to a nightclub, the bouncer doesn't like your face, and he turns you away. It means he doesn't let you come in. And this is what turn someone away means, not let someone in somewhere. Okay, if you have any questions, please put them under the video. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope to see you all soon.